So today we're going to be going over 10 surprising compliment getters for men, right? It's easy to do this topic. It would be really easy for anyone to put together a list of the top 10 most complimented men's fragrances. You don't have to be a reviewer. You don't have to have experience making hundreds upon hundreds of videos to nail this one. This is something that everyone can do, assuming that you have, or at least have smelled, more than 10 popular compliment getters. And I would say for a lot of you who are watching the channel, you definitely have. I know a lot of you guys have big, bulky collections built up from watching these videos, which is awesome. So it would be something you could do in your sleep. And I know for sure that I definitely could. So I decided to not only challenge myself, but also just give you guys some new ideas, some new fragrances that you may want to pick up. These are 10 compliment getters that are surprising. I would say that for most of you out there, none of these here would pop into your mind when thinking about a compliment getter. If someone were to come up and ask you to name off just a couple off the top of your head that they want to go out and pick up to get good compliments, I would almost bet money that you would not think of any of these here. But just because you don't think of them doesn't mean that they don't work. They actually work really, really well, and we're going to spend some time and go through 10 of these here. I will link these all up down below to discounters. Always encourage you to use those links. It'll get you the best, lowest possible prices. And let's get this one underway. And we're going to start off with Armaf Hunter Intense Eau de Parfum. So it's very hard to see, and this is new information to me, but Eau de Parfum, I don't know if this just came out or if it's been out, but we haven't been able to see a bunch of hype on it, but normally it's in an eau de toilette concentration all over the internet, but there's actually an Eau de Parfum, and this is amazing. I have it on my skin from testing it out earlier. Really, really nice. Now, I can't really find a note breakdown. To be honest, I really don't need one. This kind of is a hybrid between a few different fragrances. You ready for this? Invictus Aqua, Dior Sauvage, Aqua Atlantique, Dylan Blue. Kind of like a hybrid of all of those. So it's bubblegummy, but it's also a little bit, tiny bit smoky. It's woody. It's ambroxan heavy. It's citrusy and bright. It is phenomenal. This may not be exciting. I'm getting overworked here. This may not be that exciting for a lot of people, but this is right up my alley because I love fragrances like this. Newer to my collection, you'll see a first impressions coming up on this here soon after you see this video. So it's a little bit out of order, but it's a beauty of a scent. And I cannot wait to test this one once spring and summertime comes around. It's only $20. I would encourage you to hit that link down below and pick this one up for a good price before it ends up selling out potentially, or the price ends up going up. But it is really, really impressive. And this is going to be on my skin a whole heck of a lot this summer. Just right off the bat, I had my girlfriend smell this one, and the reaction she gave me was incredible. She's like, oh, I really like that. And that's something that she doesn't do as often anymore. After she smelled so many different things of mine, she's kind of going along this journey with me. And so it takes a lot for her to really like something over the top as well. But she did. Some other feedback I've been getting on this one as I've been testing it has also been top notch. This one definitely came as a surprise for me. Gorgeous stuff. Next up, we have Victoria's Secret Very Sexy Deepwater. Okay, so it says VS Him, Very Sexy Him, and this is the Deepwater version, I suppose. Ice, bergamot, sage, and blue cedar, I believe is how they listed it. I really like it. I really do. So the name, the marketing, the fact that it's a Victoria's Secret fragrance for men may not be something that you're going to be interested in right away, but I really, really like it a lot. It's very pleasant. Has this make-believe ice note, which just gives it a very cooling, refreshing smell. It's a little bit herbaceous and aromatic from the sage. There's just some nice woods going on in here. Nice bergamot top note, fresh. It's very, very pleasant. I love the bottle. It's very classy. I like the V on the side. All things considered, it's actually really nice. It's another big compliment getter, one that's just super wearable, easy to like. Performance is solid. It's a nice, nice scent. Nice pickup if you do want to smell a little bit different. One thing I always like to do is to make sure you guys are doing as much as you can to maximize the amount of compliments that you're getting. Fragrance is just kind of the icing on top of the cake, the sprinkles on a sundae, the finishing touches, right? And so to really get the most out of your fragrance, it's important to take care of yourself. And one really easy thing you can do is take care of your skin. And that's why each month we partner up with Tiege Hanley on the channel to be the sponsor of this video. You guys should know by now they are really hands down the best skincare brand for men because they send everything you need into a box to your doorstep each month. You guys can look back on the channel and see my acne issues just a couple years back, a mere couple years. It was a nightmare and not a great time. And Tiege Hanley helped me to turn that around significantly. I recommend starting with their level 1 system, which includes all the basics. You get a daily face wash, a 2 times per week exfoliating scrub, a morning moisturizer with SPF 20, and an evening moisturizer that you put on before you go to bed. What I like is that they send it to your doorstep each month and they send you exactly what you need, and they have an instruction card that comes in each box and it tells you exactly when to use each product and how much of that product to use. They take all of the guesswork out of it, they take the middleman out of it, so you're able to get this for a fantastic price, less than $1 a day. And for a limited time, if you click the first link in the video description, you will get 30% off your first box plus a special gift with that first box. Highly encourage you guys to start. It's kind of like investing where the best time to start is now. If you haven't started yet, the sooner the better. I mean, time is the one asset that you cannot get back. And if you start really taking care of your skin now, just in a mere couple months, you'll see a difference. And imagine how much better and how much better you will look and feel by the end of the year. Make it a New Year's resolution. Hit the link down below. Start taking care of your skin. Let's get back into these compliment getters with Prada L'Homme Water Splash. Always a fun name, right? You know, a little bit weird, a little bit dorky. Water Splash. I'm wearing Water Splash. But it works. Iris, Neroli, Ginger, Amber. Here's what I like about this one. It's Prada L'Homme DNA, but a little bit lighter, more mass-pleasing overall because it's less Prada L'Homme with all of the iris. Easier to get along with. Nice Neroli note in here, freshening it up. What I also like is that you can get a giant bottle like this one, a 150 milliliter bottle for $60 at the link down below. That'll be the third link down below. You would be hard-pressed to find a 100 ml bottle of a Prada L'Homme fragrance for that price. You would also be hard-pressed to find a 50 ml bottle of Prada L'Homme for that price. Just recently, I think we sold out, Fragrance Net sold out 50 mils of Prada L'Homme. That might have been around that price, maybe even a bit more, maybe even a bit less, but still, 150 mils for $60 for a great compliment getter. That's why it's here at the end of the day. It smells fantastic, so clean, so fresh, so inoffensive, so hard to go wrong with. Really, really well done, and I would say that most people aren't thinking of no water splash when they're thinking of compliment getters, but now you will be ahead of the curve. So technically the only niche fragrance in this video, but not really niche price at all. In fact, it's kind of, depending on the market, mid-range to upper mid-range pricing here from Guerlain. This is L'Homme Ideal Cool. This one has mint, almond, and watery notes. Love this stuff. So, for those who are unaware, this is kind of taking the place of L'Homme Ideal Cologne. And I'm a big fan of that one. And it's funny, in typical fragrance brand fashion, not just fragrance brand, designer brand, and in this case, niche brand fashion, at the peak of the hype of L'Homme Ideal Cologne, because yes, that one was actually building on a nice hype train. It wasn't as instantaneous as some other fragrances out there, but it was building a small army behind it. And this thing, especially in spring and summertime, would come around, the trend would rise up, and people were loving L'Homme Ideal Cologne, myself included. I think it's a great fragrance. So what did Guerlain decide to do? They decided to chop the freaking head off of that thing, and now you can't get it anymore without paying eBay prices. This is the replacement. And at first, I was upset. Now that I have L'Homme Ideal Cool, I'm okay with it. I think I actually like this one better than L'Homme Ideal Cologne, and I didn't think that was going to be possible, but I do. This is really, really nice. It's green, minty, aromatic, but still kind of creamy and nutty from the almond in here. It's a gentleman's spring and summertime fragrance that's stunning. I could smell this all the time. I really could, and I can't wait for spring to wear it. Wow, it's really, really well done. That kind of nice green, fresh mint leaves behind the almond comes across in the best way possible, and it is a big people pleaser. This one makes people happy. They smell this, they feel refreshed, You feel refreshed because you just got a compliment. It's a win-win. A lot of people aren't going to be thinking about this one either, but you are ahead of the pack. Next up, kind of an OG, Prada Luna Rossa. So just, yeah, Prada Luna Rossa, the original EDT. Lavender, mint, bitter orange. I believe there's a vetiver in here. You know, most people are going to be thinking of what? Say it along with me. Prada Carbon, Prada Luna Rossa Black. That's probably the main two, actually, just from the Luna Rossa line. But the original is still really, really nice. I like the original a lot. I do. It's powdery, but it's also fresh, soapy clean. It's what Prada does best. And at the end of the day, that is a refined, clean, masculine fragrance. And in this instance, at least the original here, doesn't cost you all that much. Mid-range, right? Cheaper than the Prada L'Hommes, unless Prada L'Homme Water Splash. It's probably around that same price point. But it's affordable. And you get a whole lot of fragrance for the price. You really do. Quality, performance is good. It is unique. It's just really, really nice. It's another people pleaser, you know? People will smell this one and they're going to think it smells great. What's nice is it's kind of, you know, these days a little bit overshadowed. People are going to be looking at Black and Carbon and Prada L'Homme and just a lot of other fragrances. This isn't your trendy, sweet fragrance that's going around now. It's kind of a little bit of a throwback in a way. Even though it's not throwing back that far, it kind of is, and it works great. Guess Seductive Homme Blue. Here we go. Another cheapie. This one, $20 to $30 range here, somewhere around in there. We've got cardamom, sea notes, pepper, cashmerean. So it's kind of their take on a blue fragrance in a way, but with more of a sweetness and a creaminess. It's actually really well done. It would be really easy to overlook this one given that it's called Guess Seductive Homme Blue. Most people are conditioned these days to see blue in a fragrance title and just look the other way because they're tired of blue fragrances, and I understand that. And you see the bottle as well with the blue tint. In a way, it's a little bit misleading. A little, right? It is fresh and you know, kind of aroma chemical heavy. The cashmere's pretty strong, but it's a good compliment getter. It is different than a lot of the mainstream blue fragrances, and the atomizer is really, really nice. Next up, Dirty English. You were probably not expecting this. This is probably the last thing you were thinking about when coming up with compliment getters. And that's why I'm here to give you some other ideas. This one's got leather, cedarwood, oud, some spices in here. It's a cheapie also, so not breaking the bank. It's a very, very entry-level, designer-level oud fragrance. I want to get that across. I don't want you to be scared of it. I don't want you to think it's going to be a poopy dog-smelling oud. And I'm sorry I'm spraying it. The gas is in the air still. Trying to smell this. It's really, really nice. Impressive for the price. It's very creamy and smooth, and you may not expect that initially looking at the price point, all of that stuff, but it is nice, leathery, but not too strong of a leather. It's not like a Tom Ford Tuscan leather. It's more of a laid back, easier to get along with leather. Maybe leather in terms of like ombre leather, where it's not too strong. Ombre leather is a good compliment getter as well. Kind of more on that level, not comparing scents, but comparing the strength of the leather, so to speak. Very woody, spicy, a little bit of an oud, but not too strong. It's another one that people do really like the smell of, especially in wintertime. It's going to set you apart, and people are going to respect that. Next up, we have another cheapie, back to back to back. We have Zegna Intenso. Iris, tonka bean, and cardamom are some of the main notes. Another one that's about, what, $30 or so, somewhere around in there. What did we got? Is this, I don't even know. It's an eau de toilette. Could have gone for an eau de parfum, but I didn't make it. It smells really nice, though. It's got a nice fresh balance with a little bit of a spiciness, a sweetness. It's one that people like, simply put. And it's one that you just may not think of right out of the gate. Zegna, they have some good fragrances. They're right in that kind of cheap to middle of between cheap and mid-range, kind of right in there, 30, 35, depending on what you get, sometimes 40, and sometimes even more if they're discontinued or just, you know, a more expensive fragrance. But this one kind of in that mid-range, cheap price category, which is an attractive spot for a lot of people, right? You don't want to spend $50. You don't want to spend $20. You feel like you're getting a cheap piece of crap at $20. Kind of bridges the gap. And by the way, I don't think everything at $20 is cheap pieces of crap. There's a lot that are really good, but some people may kind of have that thought going into it. That's where this one falls into, right in the middle there. It gets you a product which really, all things considered, is not terrible. It's actually really nice. Good quality here for what it is. Performance is good, could be better, but for the price, whatever, and it's a people pleaser. Got an oldie up next, Montblanc Presence Cool. So it's another bamboo fragrance from them. They like to use that note, it appears. So it's got bamboo, musk, and bergamot. Very, very fresh, very citrusy, but has a really nice bright pop. Very musky as well, woody. It smells pleasant. Now, again, this is an oldie, but the reason why it's in here is because you probably just don't think about it, right? You probably think about Star Walker bamboo fragrance over this one just because that one's kind of more hype and trendy. People just aren't really thinking of presence anymore. But if you want to kind of bust this one out and throw back, or if it's something new to you, bust it out and just be wearing something that people have probably moved on at this point from, this would be a nice option. You cannot go wrong with it. Literally can't. Fresh, clean, citrusy, musky, woody, all of that stuff. And Azzaro Ginger Lover is what we're going to end this one on. It's got 3 notes, ginger, lime, and vetiver. At least that's all they give you. I like it a lot. I really do. A lot. Ginger fragrances, surprisingly, seem to do well in the mass appeal department. Just take a look at, for example, L'Homme Ultime. This kind of gets compared to L'Homme Ultime. Now, price per mil wise, this one is more affordable. Right now, I think I saw about $45 on discounters. L'Homme Ultime 2-ounce bottle, 60 mil is upper 70s, mid 70s, lower 70s, somewhere around in there. So, and that one also I think is discontinued or maybe at some point, whatever's going on with that. But this one, price per mil wise, is going to be more affordable and it's really nice. It's very refined and very mature. It's a gentlemanly fragrance. Out of all of these here, I would say this one, L'Homme Ideal Cool, and probably Prada are going to be the 3 refined, masculine gentleman's fragrances, right? A lot of these other go in the youthful direction, which is fine. You know, a little bit of everything, but it's one that I think you older guys would really appreciate as well. Kind of has a little bit of a classic feel, not in the aromatic fougere way, but just in the way the ginger spiciness with the vetiver is used. I really like it a lot. Quality is fantastic. It's got a nice juicy top note about it from the way the lime, the ginger mixes together. For the price, this is a really good deal and a big people pleaser. That's going to do it for me, guys. That is 10 surprising compliment getters. Ones that you wouldn't think about, but they work really well. And if you're wanting to stand out, you're tired of YEDP and Bleu de Chanel and Aqua Atlantique and Paco Rabanne, 1 million, whatever, right? All of those big ones, Versace Eros. You're tired of it and you want stuff that still works but it's different. This is like the list to go off. I will link these down below to discounters. Use those links. It'll get you the best deals on these. Nice plethora of stuff that will be found in cheaper spots on different websites. That's why I link them down below to get you the best deal. And remember, Tiche Handley, now's the time to start. 30% off plus a free gift with your first box by using the first link down below. Start taking care of your skin. I know I'm glad I did. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.